Welcome to Puddles. These are comments by myself, Thomas Holliday, artist and writer, concerning books and water resources for animals and humor. Humor being some of my cartoons. I'll be talking about all three subjects each time. On books, I'm working on a new novel called Steeples about the burning of a new church, a rather strange one, and the death of its founder, an elderly doctor, in the small Chesapeake town of River Sunday. This is a place about which I write most of my novels. His grandfather left him the church to be finished, rebuilt. I write about River Sunday, much as do most writers, since it is a place about which I know a lot, and which adds itself to nature descriptions. It's modeled after old towns in the Chesapeake area, which I also appreciate since I love history. The people from which I draw my basic characters are rural in nature, but perhaps worldly in experience, and their simplicity adds to the strength of my stories. It may be that simplistic characters in such a setting tell the story well of wealthy and sophisticated, or men and women of other races, creeds, all over the world. It seems we all have the same characters at base. In this story, there is a religious man who visits the town in his boat, a simple outboard-driven craft, and talks to folks as he ties up at an old wharf in the harbor, one of those piers which is often used for small tankers, to drop off the fuel oil for the town. He speaks of wisdom, often measuring the quality of life and asking the people about their own lives and happiness. He usually draws a good crowd, including the preachers from the various churches around River Sunday. When I research the issue of water resources on animals, I look to what is being done for wildlife. Often I see great swaths of nature being changed and changing the availability of clean water. As I once asked a fellow bird watcher in my club what is being done about polluted water for the birds, he or she, I can't remember which, replied, "Don't worry about the birds. They have plenty of rivers to drink from." I asked, knowing the answer in advance, I suppose. But I mentioned the rivers are polluted. In my book about water for backyard birds and wildlife, I list a great number of international organizations that were working hard on our climate. Many are now discussing and planning for the CO2 problems and climate change. Most don't mention that climate change is a natural process leading humans from ice ages to dry seasons over a 100-year cycle. They are concerned with the current state of high CO2 levels caused by our burning fossil fuels. This is a worthy cause for organizations, but little is said about the continuing nature of CO2 and how we will get rid of it afterwards and continuing for thousands of years. I'd like to end with a note of humor for this first issue. Perhaps we should think of the quandary that a squirrel finds itself in when the nut he seeks is too large to crack or hide. Anyway, see you for puddles next time. Please subscribe.